Imagine the following scene in 2030. An astronaut wakes up in a lunar base situated within a volcanic crater. As they gaze out of the window, taking in the distant view of planet Earth, they ponder, "We've made it to the moon, but how will we stay here forever?" This visionary concept gains momentum as it aligns with the current realities of the Artemis missions. According to NASA, the Artemis program aims to explore the moon further for scientific and economic purposes, while also laying the foundation for manned missions to Mars. The successive Artemis missions are specifically focused on establishing a permanent human presence on the moon, with a particular emphasis on the lunar South Pole. Despite these ambitious goals, the central question remains: how can we ensure the sustainability of life on the moon? The moon's surface is fraught with dangers. It is exposed to solar radiation and cosmic particles with no magnetic field or atmosphere to shield it. Additionally, it is constantly bombarded by high-speed micrometeoroids. To address these challenges, scientists propose seeking shelter beneath the surface. For instance, a recent study revealed a skylight in a lunar crater, indicating a natural underground tunnel. These findings support the hypothesis that natural volcanic tunnels on the moon could house settlers and protect them from radiation and meteorite impacts, especially when covered with layers of rearranged lunar soil. Volcanic tunnels as shelters. Given the risks of radiation and particles, living in a volcanic tunnel beneath a layer of lunar soil would naturally shield settlers. For example, it has been shown that covering a lunar base with several meters of lunar dust can reduce radiation exposure to acceptable levels. Image analysis suggests that such tunnels exist in multiple areas, making the idea of caves a realistic refuge for future colonies. 3D construction using lunar soil. In parallel, automated construction techniques using local materials are being developed. NASA has launched research projects such as MMPACT to develop large-scale 3D printing using lunar dust to create durable structures. For example, a technique has been developed that pumps a concrete mix composed of lunar soil and adhesive materials to create protected chambers and landing pads. The concept is to construct an entire base with layers of locally sourced materials placed automatically, reducing dependence on supplies from Earth. Water, the ultimate lifeline for lunar settlers. Right now, international space agencies are searching for water ice hidden in the deep, shadowed craters of the moon's south pole. Why? Because out there, water is much more than just a drink. As Universe Today puts it, if we want to live on the moon, we need water. Not just for drinking. Water can be split into hydrogen and oxygen to provide rocket fuel and breathable air. NASA confirms this strategy. Water is critical to our plans for a sustainable lunar presence. Wherever water is found, whether as molecules trapped in the soil or as solid ice, it can be broken down through electrolysis. This process separates water into oxygen and hydrogen. The oxygen keeps the settlers breathing, while the hydrogen serves as powerful rocket propellant. To become truly self-sufficient, we have to grow food on site. In a groundbreaking experiment, researchers successfully grew Arabidopsis plants in actual lunar soil. By building controlled indoor farms, we can enrich the lunar soil and create the perfect environment for crops to thrive, providing both fresh food and oxygen. The lunar economy won't just rely on water and food. Energy and minerals will be the true engines of growth. Near the lunar poles, towering peaks of eternal light receive sunshine about 90% of the time. By installing massive solar farms on these highlands, we can ensure a nearly continuous flow of electricity to lunar bases. As Universe Today notes, these are excellent spots for solar power stations to fuel vehicles and settlements, bypassing the extreme temperature swings of the lunar night. Deep within the lunar soil lies another extraordinary resource, helium-3. Deposited by solar winds, this isotope is a potential gold mine for clean nuclear energy in future fusion reactors. Estimates suggest there are about 1 million tons of helium-3 on the Moon's surface. Just 1 kilogram could generate nearly 19 megawatt-years of energy. At this scale, the Moon holds enough power to meet humanity's energy demands for decades, provided we master the fusion technology of tomorrow.
Life on the Moon will be far from easy, both physically and mentally. With lunar gravity at just 1/6 of Earth's, the human body exists in a constant state of near weightlessness. According to NASA, without Earth's pull, the body loses about 1 to 1.5% of bone density every month, and muscle mass depletes rapidly. To survive, lunar pioneers will need rigorous exercise programs and specialized diets to combat bone fragility and muscle loss. Beyond the physical toll, the psychological weight of isolation is immense. Earth-based simulations reveal that confined spaces and separation from the outside world significantly increase the risk of behavioral and cognitive issues. As researchers note, the more restricted the space and the more disconnected from Earth, the higher the chance of psychological strain. To endure long-term missions, settlers must be mentally trained for deep cooperation, relying on constant communication and psychological support to maintain morale and crew unity. Lunar colonization is more than just a destination. It is a testing ground for humanity's greatest adventures. As NASA emphasizes, the Artemis missions to establish a permanent presence on the Moon are the blueprint for the first crewed mission to Mars. By mastering life in a lunar city, we gain the vital knowledge and technology needed to conquer the red planet. Ultimately, this lunar venture is only the beginning. It marks the dawn of an inspiring new era, the moment when humanity finally decides to become a multi-planetary species.